Nah, Nakaba, this is a whole travesty. Why did you do this? Thank you to our vinyl patrons, Strawbones, Red Wolf 4765, Midnight Gemlord, and ArtGoon555. Now, before we get into this discussion about why, Nakaba was a bit cruel when he took away Bon's immortality. Please, if you leave your own thoughts on whether or not Nakaba was cruel when he took away Bon's immortality in the comments section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you hit that little notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do a Patreon down below. You can support for as low as $1 a month. You can do exclusive videos, early content, and more. Now, let's hop into the discussion. What's up, guys? I'm the Pencil here, and here we are to talk about Nakaba taking away Bon's immortality was like mean on multiple levels, but for now, the main thing I just want to tackle is a character level. Because like, I have something else in the works for everything else, but still, just on a character level, it is insane. So the thing is, right, what was Bon's entire journey up until the point where he lost his immortality? Oh yeah, it was the fact that, the love of his life, the person who makes 7 deadly sins look like 7 deadly cases, Elaine, she wasn't in the living world, at least not consistently. By the time Bon gave up the immortality, she was a little bit more consistent, like her Wi-Fi connection got a little bit stronger, but she's still playing a 60 FPS game on 2 bars of internet. Like, obviously, things ain't going too well. And with that being the case, it was very evident that she may just perish again. And obviously, Bon's whole journey before she even got revived was a journey to, a journey to, not do the living anymore. That was Bon's whole journey. But then Elaine got brought back, there's this whole chant. And the thing is, right, I thought Nakaba, through the fairy tree, was setting up a sort of Chekhovs gun, if you will, right? Because what happened to the fairy tree? Oh yeah, it got burned down. But you know what Bon did? He took the seed, planted that bad boy, and started watering it down with that sweet, juicy, immortal blood. And now, notably, I know Elaine is not a vampire, and thusly she very likely would not have been into drinking Bon's blood. I'm sorry, Gelda would be more into that. We know she does it to Zeldris all the time, and Zeldris loves that. But regardless of that, I thought the Chekhov's gun was going to be that, hey, sure, hypothetically, all Bon needs to do is die. But instead of that, in order to maintain all his responsibilities and make no one sad, all he needs to do is find a way to give Elaine more life, such as the way he does with the fairy tree. And I thought gift was going to be our solution there, since Bon could literally lend his infinite vitality. And it would be great. Every single time Elaine needed a re-up, the re-up was literally right there. It would be her husband. They would have a great life. Wonderful. But then Nakaba decided to just give her to the immortality. Just bring Elaine back to life through somehow sacrificing all the immortality through gift. Because, there's something about Nakaba at the end of the series and giving characters new power-ups only to immediately get them to get rid of said new power-up. But that's another story for another time. We'll talk about why Nakaba seems to be so keen on doing that towards the end of the series in another video. But the main thing is, right, Bon sacrificed his immortality to bring Elaine back to life. This is just 100% confirmed. He no longer has the Fountain of Youth. The moment he pops up on the darn battlefield against Demon King Meliodas, the first thing he says to Big Papa King says, "Even an immortal can't beat the Demon King. What are you doing, Bon?" Bon is like, hey, fun fact about that, not even immortal no more. Bon is done. He's gone. He's back to being a human. Sure, a Purgatory amped human, yeah, but we don't know fully what that means. All we know Purgatory 100% did was make him stronger and make him more resistant to caustic environments. That's all we got. 100%. That's all we got. We don't know if this did anything for extending his lifespan. We know his soul evolved. We know his body evolved, but does that mean lifespan and stuff like that? We don't know that. We have no clue. And let's go back to the original issue that Bon had. The fact that he was going to outlive his loved one. Forever. Like, literally forever. And, you see, now that he's a regular human again, I'm not saying Bon isn't a healthy dude. I'm not saying he's not living in a great, clean environment. I'm not saying that he couldn't live to, like, 150 somehow. Break all human records. Just live to 150 years old. But Elaine is a fairy. And not just any fairy, a royal fairy at that. And, guess what? Bond's son is also part fairy, part royal fairy. And let me remind you of something. Fun fact, Gerharde, another royal fairy, has been alive for approximately 4,200 years. And it still seems to be kicking it just fine. Like, she doesn't look old or anything. She is fine. Sure, she doesn't have legs. And she is definitely missing an eye, but she looks none worse for the wear. And that's nothing. There's no immortal fountain juice in her at all. She's just a royal fairy that happened to live a very long time. And when I mean live, I don't mean in the same way that the commandments lived, or the goddesses lived, where they were stuck in this weird limbo state where they'd sacrifice their bodies and everything. No, I'm talking about just general biological existence for approximately 4,200 years. Need to remind you, Elaine is only 1,000 years old. About that. So, let's say she lives for half as long as Gerharde does. That's still literally 10 times Bond's hypothetical lifespan. Why would Bond, of all characters, put his loved one in the same predicament he was in? To where she literally gets a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of her lifetime with him before he croaks, and then she's either left to stay alive without him for who knows how long, because we have never seen a fairy pass away of old age. That just doesn't happen. They seem to be darn near immortal. The only clan that seems to live longer or as long as them would be the Goddess Clan, because they don't seem to have an expiration date either, considering how old some of them are. And same thing with the Giants. The Giants seem to live for a hot minute. But regardless of that, Bond is a human, and thus he doesn't. So why would Bond, a person who realized that he would have to struggle with immortality for literally the rest of his days without the one person he loved, give the one person he loved the ultimate ultimatum? Hey, fun fact, to bring it back to life, for literally ever, because even if I didn't transfer the Fountain of Youth into you, and you don't become subsequently immortal, even though we don't know about that, because Malakaba hasn't shown us that, I will leave you with a choice. You could either join me in the capital of the dead after I die in like a solid 70 years, and or you can live forever without me. Pick. Is this supposed to be a nice option because Elaine has the option to literally get rid of herself? Like, if she even does, I don't know. A good question is whether or not she's immortal. We don't see her fight after Bond revives her. So was the Fountain of Youth just a one-up that brought her back to life, or is she now immortal? Because if she's now immortal, that's even worse. Bond literally just passed the torch off to the one person who didn't even need the torch in the first place. And I genuinely don't get why Nakaba would end it outside of external reasons, which I get into in another video. So like on the character level, it just doesn't make sense for why Bond would do this, especially when we had the Chekhovs gun loaded. It's not like Bond had to sit there and drip forever for the fairy tree to survive and thrive. That's what Gerharde was wrong about. She didn't need to capture Bond. Bond could just keep coming back. So why, when you give Bond the ability to literally directly give his infinite vitality, why would you sacrifice it so bro dies? Now, notably, I could just be entirely wrong. Maybe I missed something. Maybe Bond still has like super crazy, ooper jooper, legendary McFairy longevity, and he won't just leave his but his wife and son and like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of their lifespans. Because who knows? Maybe Lance will have a regular human lifespan, but I highly doubt it. Bro is literally half royal fairy, and I would not be shocked if bro literally lived for at least 1,000 years. A bare minimum 1,000 years. So with that being the case, it really makes me wonder, why do this? Like, simply on a character level and a narrative level, why did Nakaba do this? Like, does anyone have a justification for it? Because I can't think of one. I get it, bringing Elaine back, but there were like, I can think of at least, and I mean at least, 2 other solutions that could have kept Elaine alive, Bond happy, and we don't run into this life dilemma. Number 1, obviously the original one, just use gift on her repeatedly. Just keep bringing her back. You don't have to sacrifice your immortality. That's dumb. Number 2, have Merlin just cast a timeless spell on her. If Merlin can do it to herself, then she can do it on Elaine. Why not just do that? Number 3, I got nothing else. But still, I feel like putting Elaine in the same situation that Bond was in is like a cruel, twisted joke that I don't think was meant to be that way. It was supposed to be a joyous moment, obviously, but now I'm just left wondering why Bond would torture his wife like this, with the ultimate choice of either staying alive forever without him, or forcing herself to come join him, in what, in her perspective, would be the blink of an eye. I'd say humans live for around 100 years, maybe a little more in Seven Deadly Sins. Elaine has already been around for 1,000 of those. Bond's life will be a blink in her perspective lifespan. And Nakaba, that was cruel. However, that's what I think. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that little notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do a Patreon down below. You can support for as low as count 'em, $1 a month. You get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. Now, thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off.